Unless we want to help communities, so we also have to be in business to profit so we can be sustainable. Right.
Quick ones, we said building capacity, so sharing resources, skill building, collaboration, mentorship, environmental sustainability, inclusivity, gives community the voice and the power, and it's flexible.
Examples and role models, and also more publicity and to spread the word on like the information that's provided here to like the actual community.
Yes.
And co-op model for businesses in a given building.
Co-op businesses, very important for that. Yes. What great.
The concept of micro loans. So you don't necessarily have to have a bricks and mortar location. You could be perhaps having a business out of your residence. Yes, a small, like an artisan type business.
We also really feel that having diverse businesses and not only big box businesses in community actually makes community healthier, providing different services, products, and options for people. And we also hope that small businesses can create options for jobs and volunteer opportunities.
Yes, definitely.
We also talked about some practical things like for businesses like the incubators and like that space to be able to really support the growth of a business and that incubator piece is really important, right? So how can you create spaces, structures in community that will be able to support the community growing from the very beginning, right? So that was something.
Of course, you will become a collaborator, leaders, educator, organizers, or planners, connector to someone, so you can engage to the community and entrepreneurship as well. Become also a fundraiser, a change maker. So
we spoke about outreach to promote education, partnership, and collaboration, reach communities and businesses, developing focus groups, town halls, and discussion sessions, and community asset marketing.
What we spoke about was really getting the message across that we're not profit makers, so the work that we do is not for money, and we're change makers, so it's the social and the environmental impact that is of value. Also, it's a mutually beneficial partnership, so investors are supporting the community, and the investors are also getting recognized, and not through a monetary value, but the social impact.
Impact, intention, and tangibility that the business is actually making, so consider that first. The investor might be interested in a business plan about sustainability of the actual operation and the business itself. Another message around like financial education and mentorship being really important, the dollars or the investment being insufficient. Potential, when it comes to loan repayment, thinking about paying it forward and bartering as opposed to just the financial element. Like there's more to repayment than just the financial dollars coming back.
Well, so say like an example, it goes into inventory. It may take, depending on the amount of loan, whether it's 5,000, 10,000, maybe the first year no interest. Maybe there could be just different ways to like the repayment plans, where it's not all just like interest. Could be like first year interest free, second year, work it out.
So we came up with a slogan for the TII, money is only the start. So it's not just giving money, it's about helping with fundraising, mentorship, making connections with the community, helping with publicity. What you put in, what you get out of it is what you put in, and it's not only monetary.
Professional development and educational needs should also be funded for business owners. So there are options there. That's a completely different type of investment into people. That's social capital investments, education. Decolonized practice, and I heard Denise kind of just waft above the chatter in the room, but exploring what that means in relation to granting and to funding of small businesses. So just a whole different approach and exploring that with our investors. And so I made a note here of repayment doesn't have to be financial only. Consider the profiles, the relationships between business and community partnerships and other things.
One of the questions I wanted to ask them, what options are available if you cannot repay back your loan? Are there opportunities to have collaterals rather than always using credit history to give out a loan? I also thought that, what are some of the barriers that could affect our community? And one of the questions that she said, what are the measures for sustainability? One of the questions.
I just have a couple of quick things to say. Really, again, just really happy to see everyone here with smiles on their face and sharing the excitement that we all have about what's happening now, the opportunity. Kind of like Randall here, I've been around for a while doing community work. And oftentimes you go to a funder and you get grants, but there's another way, and we're just not sure what that other way really is, right? And I think we have an opportunity to work directly with the community to help us figure out what that other way can be, right?
I can maybe just share three things. One is just a real sense of gratitude. It was just super fun to come out and laugh and just like reimagine and talk about these things that we otherwise don't really have an opportunity to talk about. So loved it. Thank you for both like hosting and inviting me in and for all of you to come. Second thing is you guys asked like incredible questions. I'm totally blown away. These were hard. Like I feel for Randall. I think I'm put on the hot seat. But these were like incredibly insightful and like targeted questions about like what's going to be meaningful and like what's actually going to make this different. And then that would be my third thing, which is just like this is an opportunity to really reimagine. I think coming out of COVID, I think we're still being affected by COVID. But at one point, the conversation was, what is that post-COVID world going to look like? And at one point, I think there was a sense of optimism around like reimagining what that could actually be. And I think that's kind of fizzled off, to be honest. But like, maybe this is another opportunity to reimagine what the financial system could be for us. And like, how is it actually going to work for people on planet? So just encourage you to like, as Cuddy said, think outside the box. Like, human systems have created these human financial, processes, but humans can also rewrite those, so let's do that.
I hope I see you all again soon. Thank you very much for all your time. And please.
Thank you.